But one of the more interesting storylines last night was the Starks saga. I mean,
oh my goodness.
I
So much
absolutely,
happened.
I mean, the guy just overfills with charisma. This guy is a superstar through and through. I mean, he carries himself like a superstar. He talks the talk, walks the walk, and I mean, just look at his facial expressions there. He's always so good at that, and he can carry himself in the ring. And that vignette before his match was so amazing, spot on, really well shot. I absolutely loved it. I thought this was so great. But the whole segment, it's so many ups and downs throughout that whole 10, 15 minutes, man. Personally, I'm not on the Danhausen bandwagon, so I was happy to see Starks kind of go through him pretty.
You should be cursed.
Yes, I don't want to get cursed by him. But I was happy to see Starks go through, but then I was like, the wheels started turning. I was like, wait, he's doing a challenger, and Hook and Danhausen were tag partners, and it's all this, and it's all coming together. And I was like, it's got to be Hook. It's got to be Hook. And then sure enough, it was Hook. But happy for Hook. And, we interviewed Brian Cage, and he was, the last FTW championship, and the last match he had was with Ricky Starks for that FTW championship in AEW. And so it needed a refresher, in my opinion. I saw something on Twitter, maybe you saw it today, but the FTW has been defended more than the WWE world title since summer or since WrestleMania. So it's been defended 4 times, and the world championship at WWE has only been defended once. But what did you think of, I guess, what's your take on Danhausen and then Hook's championship? And then we could talk about what happened after the match.
Danhausen, yes, very nice, very evil. He's a wrestler of some sort and multi-millionaire, billionaire with his belt. And Danhausen actually is one of those, he's kind of like Orange Cassidy and Abaddon, where you're not, I won't say limited, but you don't want to overplay them too much. You don't want to oversaturate with Danhausen, but he works how he's working right now. If you remember when Orange Cassidy was first introduced, he didn't wrestle. He just showed up, and then finally he was going to try. And they had that one dark match where he finally tagged in and went up against Pac and TH2. Danhausen's kind of like that. He's filling that role. He always gets a huge pop. He can take an L like this and still be Danhausen. There's no, there's no, and there was no doubt that Ricky was going to retain FTW, but I was thinking something was going to happen where maybe Hobbs and Starks were going to try to beat up Danhausen, and then Hook was going to come out and have to make a choice. But I love how this entire thing went. Starting with the Ricky Starks promo, and I know that a lot of times he gets compared to he's like a young skinny Rock, or they try to make comparisons. I think he's cutting his own way at this point. He's Ricky Starks when he's becoming that superstar, and he's outgrown the FTW belt at this point.
Agreed.
And I felt like it was the perfect move. Hook's the perfect person to take it off. I mean, kind of like we talked about before with Brian. Like you guys talked with Brian Cage, is that the whole FTW Team Taz thing. I think it's kind of run its course, and I think that's what kind of was happening here. They did so many things. You got this promo with Ricky Starks. You put Hook over. Danhausen still got the pop. You put Hook over, and now you've got Hobbs turning on Ricky Starks. So there's so many storylines going on. Tremendous, everything clicked, and Ricky still is up. He didn't lose anything by this other than losing the belt. He didn't lose any face. He still looks like a star. So now it's like, what's next for Ricky? He's got to deal with Hobbs, the fallout from that. But are we going to see Ricky versus Wardlow for TNT title, or are we going to see him in the main event picture?
That's a good question for sure. Eventually, but you could feel the crowd getting on the Ricky Starks bandwagon train for weeks and weeks and weeks now. Even months ago, I would say it was hinting there. And so he's naturally someone you want to root for just because of his confidence that he has, and it's so fun to root for him. And so I think Hobbs wasn't necessary. I love the combo of those two guys, and I was hoping for them to take the tag belts for a little bit, just because a big fan of Hobbs. And I think finally Hobbs is ready to stand on his own. And I know he was in the group and stuff, and still I don't know where they're going to go with him, if he's going to still be like a Team Taz kind of henchman or what. But I think being with Ricky and having that promo support throughout over the last 6 months, a year, Hobbs has grown a lot because we've seen Hobbs talk more, and so now I think he's ready to stand on his own. But Ricky, of course, can always stand on his own. Some great stuff. A lot of fresh storylines coming for sure, and I'm interested. I think right now Ricky's going to try to get his revenge a little bit, but and AEW is not shy about pitting together a babyface versus babyface. Hence, we saw Wardlow and Orange Cassidy. I don't want Ricky to go into a match where he's destined to lose. Even like versus Wardlow. No one's stopping Wardlow anytime soon. No. Even if Ricky got a world title shot against Moxley, I think that would still be interesting. And I know he's not going to beat Mox yet. At least it would be cool to see him get his world title shot on that.
Absolutely, I absolutely. Yes, exactly. I do think that whole segment was built around pushing Ricky Starks and getting it. Everybody said that he's going to be a single star, but you're right. You got it. That the most fun is in the chase, and putting him against Wardlow or putting him in that title picture right now, it's going to deflate the momentum. You got to let this feud go through. They know what they're doing. They got long-term plans for this kid, and it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time he's going to get that gold around his waist.